I ain't hungry. First, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving.
Hurt takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
When that cage opens up again, our teeth are snarling. We're drooling. We're ready. We're hungry, ready to hunt again.
Dallas. We hate you. Race snow. The Eagles train to go. The Eagles win.
And again, and again, and again.
It ain't about them. It's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us. I promise you. Promise you.
What is up, my Brus, my bird Brus? We are back. It's another Speaking Birds. It's your boy Speaks. Many men. We're here. We're joined with John, the boy Clayton. Eagles win over the Giants. We predicted it. We all knew. What's going on, fellas?
Let's go. Let's go. Domination.
Man. Yes.
Domination.
Good to be here. Good stuff.
Man,
happy to be here.
Dude, a dub. Hold on, before we get into that, we were texting, John. You brought up the Bigfoot Lodge. The Bigfoot Lodge is it's a bar in Los Angeles, I guess you would technically call it Atwater Village, but I went there during the weekend, and I got to tell you, they do high lifes now, and this beer, I cracked it. It was as cold as it could be. They handed me a can. The first sip was like the ice. You know when you get the ice?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was like
I was there.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, we went
the
there.
Only beer I had was High Life too.
Yeah, and I respect that so much, man. Because a lot of these bars, they give you warm beers. This one was as cold as it could be without freezing. I just respect it. Bigfoot Lodge, shout out.
Yes. Shout out. I got the shirt on. I don't know if you know that.
Really, right now?
I'm literally wearing the shirt.
Nice.
Oh, I love it, dude.
Yes.
Guys.
I'm dead serious.
I love it. Dude, seriously, if you serve me a good beer, you have me for life.
Maybe that's a great place no matter what, dude.
Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, I mean, most people probably wouldn't know, but it's dark. We went in there during the middle of the day one time. I just visited Alex out there in California for about a week, and we went in there in the middle of the day, and I didn't bring my actual glasses because I have prescription sunglasses, and I couldn't see a fucking thing.
Yeah, it's
couldn't
great.
See anything.
It's amazing.
It's just a dark bar. It's like a dark. I don't want to say dive bar because I think it's better than that, but
it's a stylized.
I like dive bars too, though. So.
Yeah, it's stylized towards Bigfoot, and I'm a Bigfoot hunter, so if you
loved it, dude, loved it. And I know I texted you just after we had left and came back home. I was like, man, I'd go to the Bigfoot right now.
Yeah, no, it is great. It's a great place. But and then they're serving out those beers. Anyway, enough of the beer talk, guys. Eagles win 28-3 over the Giants.
We're back.
Exhale. Can we do a collective exhale?
Yeah.
What do we think?
We're back, baby.
We're back?
We're back. I think so.
Man,
I don't know.
It looked good. It was one of those games where
it felt good.
It felt good. Yeah, it's one of those games where I put on my headphones. I'm just listening to music, I'm watching, but man, it's just not one of those win by a field goal down to a defensive stop. It was I mean, we had it.
It was stress-free. It was the first stress-free game we've had in how long? Since last year, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first, and I know it's being spoiled here, but the fourth quarter was kind of boring. It was kind of like a preseason game, but I'll take that because we're so far ahead, blowing a team out. I'll take that as opposed to these nail biters.
Well, the funny thing is, if you're not watching the game and you see, hey, both quarterbacks got benched in the fourth quarter, you think oh, that's not good. But hey, it's good if you're on our end.
I don't consider Hurts being benched. You know?
No, yeah. You're right.
Obviously, Daniel Jones benched. I do agree on that.
What is that about?
Oh, he's terrible.
I think he just took so much punishment today. They were like, this day is not going to go our way no matter what. Might as well get the starting QB out of there. Throw Drew Lock out there. Who cares if he gets, roughed up? I mean, he had taken eight sacks and way more hits. That one hit Nakobe Dean had on him on the sideline there. Oh my god, he's gonna be peeing blood tonight after that, dude. Like that was brutal.
Yeah, dude. Man. So like, let's say you're Daniel Jones. Like, do you like getting benched? Like, I'd rather be out there. I'm like, dude, don't pull me.
I'll say this: if you're Daniel Jones, I don't think you care because you're just making a ton of money. You know what I mean? You're on a shit ass team.
I know, but I'm like, I put my team in this situation. Like, I'm gonna be out there.
Yeah, obviously you want to win, but I don't know that Daniel Jones cares.
Really not even win, but you want to like I want to lose. Like, I want to be out there for the loss because I did this. Sort of.
I mean, when you're on a relatively shitty team like that, you're happy just to be making all those millions. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. You just look for the bright spot in it. Well, at least I'm paid.
Yeah. Well, that's the bright spot. You know what I mean? At least I'm making 100 million or whatever it is.
Yeah, and he is paid.
Yeah.
Wow. They screwed up there.
For sure. So here's a question I was thinking about. And I was thinking about it before the game today, and I was wondering how this team was going to come out. I mean, obviously the slow start, that's still an issue. But I feel like this team came out and really rallied behind Nick.
Many men.
Yeah,
many.
Oh,
I'm telling you guys, it's going to be an anthem. They've rallied.
I think they played hard for their head coach today. I think they're like, look, man, everybody is taking shots at this guy this week. This is our dude. We love him. We're going to come out here and show everybody we can handle business. And they did. I mean, that, especially the defense. The defense came out and was ferocious.
Oh, yeah. Ravenous wolves. They did it.
You know what? Nick looked like he got some sleep. I know Clayton said that when we were at the game.
Yeah, the blackness around his eyes wasn't as prevalent.
I will say defense, man. They played their fucking asses off, dude.
Yeah,
I'll say 100%. That. Any day of the week, I will say that. So
let's jump right in, man. We had like what you said, 8 sacks. It was 8.
8 sacks. Yep, we ended the day with 8 sacks. I'll run through it real quick. Sweaty had 1. Carter had 2. Bryce Huff had 1. Jalix Hunt, the rook, gets in with 1. Nakobe Dean had 2, and he had 4 nice hits on the quarterback as well. And then Nolan Smith, man, for as much trash as I've talked on him, he is every week he has gotten better, and this week he looked great. I won't say he looked great. He looked better, and he got a sack. So, 8 people, man. That's
Nolan Carter
8 sacks.
Or Nolan Smith, is turning out to be quite possibly a quality defensive end.
Let's talk about it. Is he? I think so.
I think so, man.
Yeah, me too.
The one thing I will say this is that, if nothing else happens, he's got the highest motor on the team. You know what I mean? That he's what I want to say, he's coming in to get the quarterback, and then at times he's making a tackle downfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anybody else has saw that, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, 100. He'll be in on the pass rush and almost get to the quarterback, and then the quarterback gets it off, and then receiver catches it, and one of our guys misses or whatever, and the next thing you know, Nolan Smith is the dude cleaning up the tackle down 20 yards downfield. I 100% agree with that. He has the best engine or the best motor on this team, and it's the reason that he's progressing, because he's so relentless.
I got a lot of respect for that. I got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah.
I'm an effort guy. Sorry.
Oh yeah. The Georgia guys showed out. Nolan,
second week in a row.
We had a lot of sacks, man. That was great.
Man.
Dean was an animal today. Now he missed the first, I think it was his first tackle. Missed it, and I was like, oh, here we go. You know? And then he came back out. Dean was a freaking animal today.
He was
animal.
Inspired. They were playing like ravenous wolves. I'm gonna keep saying that.
I love that.
Oh, ravenous wolves.
They were, and they deserve. I tell you what, whoever. Well, I'd give Saquon a game ball, but I would give the entire defense as a unit a
Absolutely.
game
yeah.
ball for that
Yes.
performance today.
Yes.
Defense,
They were the stars.
defense, man.
They were the stars
Defense.
of the day.
Yeah, they really were. Yeah.
They were great. Defensive
Yep.
line played their asses off.
Yeah,
Especially.
gotta give it to them. Yeah, for sure. Defensive, your prediction, Clayton. I called him Q Puck. he's got the nose ring. Q Puck. We'll trademark it. But man, he should have had his first pick.
Oh no! Again, he should have like 5 picks now.
Yeah.
Like for real. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough to see. I'm gonna stop making a bold prediction about that because I think I'm jinxing him. So I'm done with the bold prediction on that until it happens.
Yeah.
Let me say this, because the past couple pods I was done talking about it, but Bryce Huff grabs a sack.
Boy, grab
He's
a
back.
sack.
He's back. He had a couple nice pressures, man.
Yeah, he had a bunch of good reps today.
He deserves to have his name talk about. And Philly better get off his back after today. I feel like
you're calling it. Off his
I
back.
think so, man. Like, he played a good game today, and I watched him a lot. And he didn't always get in there, but he played a great game today.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, all around.
And let me just if we have any enemy Giants listening to the pod here, all I heard this week coming in was Malik Neighbors this and Malik Neighbors that. We better all be scared to death of Malik Neighbors. He's a generational talent, and this is a blah 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 blah. 4 fucking receptions for 41 yards with a long of 14. Get out of my face.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Who was on him, Slay?
Slay was on him a little bit. Quinion was on him. They weren't following him. So it just depended on where he was lining
It just
up.
tells you how worried they are about him if they're not following him.
Following him. Yeah.
Slay doesn't follow anybody now, though, so we don't follow anybody. He even said that in one of his rival podcasts. I mean, he doesn't travel anymore. So,
well, it's we're missing the obvious again here. Saquon Barkley Day, revenge game, and it was everything that you could have wanted and hoped for.
Man.
He ends up with 17 attempts, 176 yards, a long of 55, 1 touchdown, and he averaged over 10 yards a touch today. So I would say that's a pretty good revenge game. Not what I expected, to be honest. I thought that was going to be their focal point. It just looks like the Giants team as a whole, but specifically their defense didn't really show up today. I mean, they had some good pass rushes here and there, but the back end, they just didn't seem like they really were too much into this game. It kind of reminded me of us in Tampa. Like it felt like we were definitely the aggressors. We were definitely the high energy side, and it showed 28-3.
I just want to say,
yeah, go ahead, man.
Right before you say this, I want to say one thing. I think this is the biggest highlight of all of it is just relatively getting out of there with minimal injuries.
Yes, yes.
That's shitty ass field. Yeah.
MetLife is notorious for those of you who don't know, like injury prone field, and getting out of there, and hopefully we don't have to go back there, but that's the one time this season I think we have to go there, and getting out of there injury free.
Yeah, so we had Mekhi back, but that was a concussion. And then at the end of the game there, God, how was it went down? Zach Bond went down with a sholler. I don't know. I didn't really see anything. Yeah, we didn't really see anything else on that. So, Jeremiah Schroeder Jr. came in, tackle and a couple assists. So he was in there for him. And again, you don't know because the game was out of hand anyway, how severe that was. So we'll have to wait and see on that in the week here. But hopefully that's just precautionary and it's not bad.
We need Zach Bond.
Yeah, Zach Bond needs to be out on the field.
Who would be the backup there?
Trotter and Dean would be your starting.
I don't know.
Tandem there. I mean, if not, it would be the guy that comes in and does the lead blocking.
Oryx?
No, serial killer.
Van Sumeren.
Van Sumeren, yeah.
He's an all effort guy too, though. So okay, now I don't feel
I
as
mean,
bad.
that would be your two options. Those are your top two backups.
Yeah. Van Sumeren is nothing but effort, so I'll give him that. But I don't like where we're at there if Zach Bond's hurt. But go ahead, Alex.
Speaking of linebacker, like here's one thing that we talk about, like guys leaving the Eagles and becoming, a serviceable player, like Singletary. Like, should we have kept him around? He's with the Broncos now. He's been there for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Is that
guy?
still,
He was a tackling machine.
Yeah,
he led the team in tackles for a year.
He's a tackling animal, but he's hurt now, I think, ain't he?
Oh, he might have been, but I saw him flying around the other day on like a Broncos.
Okay, could be wrong.
Yeah.
They don't respect. So I don't even remember exactly how that played out. But if somebody else was going to offer him money, there's no way how he's going to match it. So it's one of those things. Like he has zero respect for the linebacker position. The franchise. I mean, it's been like that with this franchise. You're either going to get late round draft picks out of it, undrafted free agents, or just free agents like low level, and they'll just put who they deem serviceable in there and hope for the best. And it's only time that we've gotten really good linebacker play is when TJ Edwards was here, and that was we got lucky with a UDF there.
Yeah.
And then oh my gosh, the guy that got caught with a gun in his carry-on bag.
Oh.
Gilbert Arenas. Just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
Just kidding.
The Holiday Bullets. Who was it? Josh Huff. Who was it?
Josh Huff. But yeah, I mean it is what it is. So,
all right, guys. Well, we're not. It was a good win, but we've talked about Sirianni and Hurts in the past, and there's a lot of.
Give me one. I got 1 10-second Hurts. I got 1 10-second Hurts negative thing, and then I'm all positive.
Well, no, I'm saying, okay, yeah, get the negative out here. All right, what you got, John?
Just the first quarter. You know what I mean? Like, we're not a first quarter team, and we're not, obviously. So we did the 10% better. We hit AJ Brown on the first play of the game for a first down. So I like that. That's our first.
I message you, dude. Feed AJB. It's not that hard.
100%.
It's not that hard. That's
100%.
a cheat code.
Yeah.
And they went back to it, and they ended up doing
we got
it.
that,
Go ahead.
but then again, Jalen Hurts was terrible in the first quarter. It's like we cannot afford to start slow in that first quarter. Like if we get into this playoff thing, you know what I mean, and that's weeks down the road or whatever. This is not sustainable. And that's my only negative take this week.
Yeah. Well,
right?
It's not.
Yeah, I mean it's not even really negative. It's just
not
facts.
Sustainable. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe go tempo. I felt like they did a lot of tempo today too. Trying to get
later.
But I mean, start out in tempo. Like come out and just rip it. Especially I feel like Hurts does better when he's in a tempo mode. Like when we're like moving with urgency, I feel like that's when he's at his best. It's when we're running clock and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to fix this first quarter problem. Like it's just weird.
Here's what I was thinking. Like as I was watching it unfold, I would run that first quarter like a 2-minute offense, like timeouts. Is that weird? Like if I'm Sirianni, and it's completely it's negligent to do that, but I am running that for like we had some time left. I'm running it like a 2-minute offense. I'm calling timeouts. I'm kicking the field goal. If like there's like it's the second down, 3 seconds on the clock in the first quarter, I'm kicking the field goal because I want it off my back.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Just getting this off our back because even the players are aware of it. Watching Barkley's presser right after the game, he had mentioned it, so it's in their heads too.
Of course, yeah. I'm getting it off the back. I'm kicking a field goal on second down, and I don't know. That's negligent.
But no, they really need to get a first quarter score at some point soon.
What is it? Henry Winkler from the fucking what's that movie with Adam Sandler? The Water Boy. It's like you're going left, you're going right. I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah.
You
No.
just
Oh
kick it.
god, the coach.
You just
Yes.
kick it. Yeah, just kick it.
Well, let's talk Hurts. Like again, like there were times you're facing a great front, but he doesn't turn the ball over. I thought he played, of course, there's things you want to clean up, but I think he played a great game. He protected the ball. He
First quarter, Alex, I know I texted you and I was like, God damn.
No,
Hurts
I get that.
sucks.
Yeah.
Hurts
I get
sucks.
that too. Yeah.
And then he goes down, he doesn't try to extend the play, but like after seeing the game, in the whole aspect, it's like, God damn, he doesn't want to turn it over. And I agree. Wherever you were going, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, like take the sack.
Oh, he took it. He just laid down on the ground.
Yeah, I kind of like that. What do you think, Clayton?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. There's two big takeaways from the last 2 weeks here that give me a lot of optimism moving forward. One, we haven't turned the ball over. Jalen hasn't thrown an interception. We haven't had a fumble. I don't think I'd have to go back and check, see if how, and I don't know how they determine this, but it doesn't look to me like he's even had any turnover worthy plays, which is a big deal. So that means he is coming out of the bye. He addressed that. He saw that I'm putting it in danger too much. Let's back off that. So I feel like that's growth, and that's a big deal.
He's
Also,
learned.
yeah, and this is off the Jalen Hurts subject, but I'll just toss it out there and we can go back to Hurts. A big deal with the defense is we haven't given up offensive touchdown in the last 2 games. That's a big deal, man. Like
For sure.
we gave up 3 field goals last game to the Browns, and we gave up 1 field goal today. Like that's a big deal considering the Tampa game and how bad this defense looked. So I'm starting to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm starting to feel like
I'm
this
drinking it.
coaching
I'm drinking
staff.
it. Are we all drinking it? Are we drinking it?
Oh man, I'm drinking it.
I'm starting to feel like maybe this coaching staff, is doing their job, is starting to correct. And I feel
Many
like
men.
we're evolving into our final form. I think we may see it soon.
I'll say this though, maybe Mitchell's a corner that maybe just can't catch, Otherwise he'd have been a receiver.
Yeah,
big catch.
But that's a hard take. Hard take. I like Mitchell. I love Mitchell. So
and as long as he keeps covering like he's covering, I'll take him. I prefer.
I don't care. I don't care if you pick it off or not. I don't give a shit.
I want the pick off. Don't get me wrong. I want it.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not going to kill him for it because he's so good in coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's so sticky.
He's great at tackling too.
Yeah, he comes up and puts hits on.
Yeah, aside from the interception, like, do we
take.
know what the difference would have been? Like, because they ended up punting, so like,
Yeah, that's what that's
like,
where I was kind of at. Like,
yards,
it's
10
probably
yards.
better you didn't pick it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I want that first.
I'm with you though.
Yeah.
I want him to get the pick, especially in a big. That's not a big situation, but in a big situation, I want that.
Yeah, me too.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Man, dude, I'm telling you,
That's just
I said Ravenous Wolves. I think this defense came out and played like it. I think the whole team did.
Man, we played great, man. And that was my only negative thing was Jalen Hurts in the first quarter. I think he's taken a sack that he doesn't need to take,
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to...
I want the points. I want the points in the first quarter, dude. That's what I want.
Me too. And until that, we just need to get that monkey off our back. And until we do, it's going to be a point of emphasis and people are going to talk about it every single week until it's done. I'm tired of listening. Yeah, I'm tired of listening to that. Like, God, every freaking press conference, even like they'll ask him the game after press conference. And then when he has to meet again later this week, they'll ask him about it. And then when they has to meet, on Thursday, they'll ask him about it. It's like, dude, I think he's answered this question. Okay. They're trying to fix it. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, I get that. But on the flip side, like, fix it.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And again, a penalty. There was, 3rd and 5 turns into 3rd and 10, and we're behind the sticks, and nothing. It's just little stupid shit like that that keeps popping up. It's not even so much like play call and execution. Well, there is execution there, but just like self-inflicted dumb shit. Just clean it
Yeah.
up.
I agree. Yeah, it's a problem that plagues this team. Guys, let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
We get back more post game pod. We are back. It's the victory pod. Dude, I feel great. I feel good about it. 28-3. I hope
Domination.
That's the score. Was that the score?
We're dominating.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, Eagle Nation, you should
dominating.
feel great today, man. You just
Yeah.
dominated your first divisional game, man.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'll say that
go.
to your point, Clayton. Like that is, dude, to win in the division on the road,
Tough.
it's a big
it's
deal.
amazing. Yeah, it's a huge deal, and we did it.
Yeah, we went up there, and it was funny. A lot of people were kind of picking the Giants. Some of the like Ruben Frank, for instance.
I was a little worried.
I'm gonna shout him out. He picked against us, and I was like, "You coward!" I wanted to.
Did he really?
Yeah, on the pregame show,
Chick-fil-A.
he blocked my X account, so I
He
wanted to make a
blocks me
burner.
too.
I wanted to make a burner and go at him.
Let's talk about Ruben Frank for a minute. He's blocking people.
Oh man,
He can't handle criticism.
He deleted my messages when Travis Fulgham, he compared him to T.O.
I remember that.
A year later, I said, "Hey, this didn't fucking what do they usually say? Hey, this didn't
Age too well.
Age well, yeah,
Yeah.
And he put me up. He's like, I get paid to make this,
Yeah,
whatever.
You.
And then deleted my shit.
Oh,
Yeah. There's no excuse for that. Yeah, Ruben Frank. I do like Rube and Dave. Dave's
Me too.
I do like Rube a lot. I really like Rube because he gives a lot of stats that are incredibly good.
yeah.
So-
There's obscure stats that he comes up
Yes.
with, and his obs after the game. I read that all the time. So, I like his stuff. It's just some of the time, dude. It's like, come on, Rube. What are we doing?
He's a music guy too. He'll be like,
Yeah.
you know, he knows like music too. So
Do you know about the Goose or what?
Oh, I
think
guarantee you he knows
probably
about
is,
them. He loves jam bands.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fire then. He does now.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on Saquon a little bit. Like he came back home
Man.
and destroyed.
Man. Good for
Just-
him, man. Good for him. He's
Man, I'll
just
tell
an
you-
animal. He's an
Yeah.
animal. Go ahead,
Agreed.
Clayton.
No, I was gonna say I just wanted to say, good on Kellen Moore for sticking with the run because it really didn't go great right away, but they
No, it
stuck with
wasn't.
it, and it paid dividends.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, oh man. What 171 touchdown? 170
176.
176.
Yeah, and it was only 12 yards from the record, which
Yeah,
that
I'll
makes
ask
me
you guys
upset.
that.
Like, just get the 12 yards and then get out of there. You know what I mean?
Let him go in, right?
That's for me. But
I think
don't
you
know.
let him go in and get it. That's like
I
the
do
Chip
agree.
Kelly, Nick
I do
Foles
agree.
thing.
Exactly.
we actually talked about that
Yeah.
during the game. Me and Clayton.
Yeah. I think you got to let him get that.
I tell you what, he was running with. You could tell that this game meant something to him today.
Of
He was running with some
course.
aggression. That I think it was. It was definitely in the first quarter when he ran that dude over on the sideline. I was like, ooh, all right. Saquon's came to play today. He doesn't care. He may have friends over there, but it's war, like Dexter said.
You know what I respect about Saquon though, because he got a $48,000 fine for lowering his helmet, which we could talk about, but that's atrocious. Like he's protecting himself, but he did the same thing this week and but tweaked it a little bit to where his shoulder pads were leading. Did you guys notice that?
Not off. I was gonna say, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say not offhand, but he did mention that in his press conference after the game about that hit. He said he didn't want to say too much about it, but he gave the details of it, and he said he's appealing it, so hopefully he can appeal that. But yeah, I don't remember exactly the play that you're speaking of.
It looked like he well, I guess the point is that he looked like he didn't shy away from that same move, which I respect.
I respect that too. Even if he gets fined for this one, just continue playing through,
Yeah, it's like that's not gonna phase me.
Yeah.
He still did it.
And at that rate, like maybe Nick should get involved and start paying for it.
Well, I think Lori probably picks it up, right? You would think.
He has.
And Nick should pick it up.
Nick should pay it, dude. What's Nick getting paid? Let's talk about that.
I have no clue.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have no idea.
Speaking of Nick, though, let's talk about his. How do we feel? We got to take temperature because we have to.
Nick. I like Nick after this game. Temperature seems good.
We can't be doing that. Are we flip flopping or what?
This is a great game, man. This is a great game. Let's settle in the win. I don't know. If you guys want to go the other way, I mean, I know I'm a big Nick fire, but I thought he did a great job this game. But they also kept the cameras off him, so we don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is weird. You would think that they would be more into the camera on Nick.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't know.
No. Which I mean, that was the biggest thing for me. That's I wouldn't say I'm flip flopping. I don't like it's a bad look anytime that you're jawing with the fans, especially your own fans. Like it's not a good look, man. Like if you want to jaw with the players on the field, I'm still not a huge fan of that. But just stop going at the fans. Like the Colt stuff, the Kansas City stuff, and then last week I do want to go on record and saying like it's okay for us as Eagles fans and like the people that cover this team to say critical things about Nick in my book. But when the national media starts calling him a clown and stuff, that's when I turn around and I get Nick's back. Like that made me mad. People calling my head coach a clown. It's like being an older sibling and having a younger kid. A younger sister for me. And it's like I can say whatever the hell I want to my little sister. The second you say something to her, I'm gonna thump you. That was the feeling I got.
Clayton, I had the same thought. Yes, I can say that. You don't say that.
Exactly. So, and that was my feeling all week long. I think they gave Nick his punishment. Okay, he got what he deserved. I think he got a little more than he deserved. I think people were super critical. I don't. Yeah. After just saying that, I'm thinking that because he did go at the fans. You can't that's a no. You can't.
But I don't know. Nobody knows what was said. I'd love to know exactly what was said.
Because there's Reddit user that came out and said that he was the person.
No. That's not what was said.
It could have been written by or GPT, So
you can read somebody's lips, and that was not what's said.
Yeah.
And I don't know what was said, and I don't even know any of the words, but that's not what was said. But I do I know I'm always hard on Nick, but this was a great game, and they kept them all. They kept the cameras off him, and I'm glad because he regained his strength this week.
Got 10% better. Would you say?
Yeah, he got 10% better, bud.
Yeah,
dude. And this is we may come back and look at this game as like a turning point. Remember I think it was 21. Yeah, it was 21. I think we were 2-5 or 3-5 or something like that. And Nick was just again getting crucified because he said something weird at the podium about roots and flowers. Remember that?
Yeah. That was the turning point.
That was the turning point. But listen, getting crucified like he did this week, I think it woke the team up, and the team's like, you know what? Just like we were saying, Alex, like, fuck everyone else, man. This is our coach. You don't say shit. We, if we want to be critical, we can be critical, but fuck anybody else. And we're going to go out here and we're going to play with 100% max effort, and we're going to show these motherfuckers, the Eagles aren't to be taken lightly, dude. We're back. We're coming back.
I agree, man. It's the foxhole mentality. Like, I just hope it didn't happen too early.
Mm.
Are we going to be burned out by week 14? You know what I mean? Because heading into the playoffs with this mentality, we'd be a force to be reckoned with.
Hell yeah. So they just got to keep the mindset. I mean, to be fair, in that Flowers year in 2021, after that they kept that. I mean, yeah, they got beat up in the playoff game, but I mean that roster wasn't great. It was right after the 2020 collapse, where they just basically cleaned the house.
Well, there is a stat, like, after that Flowers speech, he went on to do like 24 and like 5. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it resonated with him. I mean, people on the outside may be looking at it like he's a fool or a clown. All that matters is what resonates with his players. And if he has, his finger on that pulse on what he needs to do and say to get this team snap the hell out, to look like they give a fuck, to start playing with effort, if he has to be a clown, then be a clown, Nick. Whatever you got to do, just get the win.
Many men.
Man.
Many. Dude, that's the anthem. That's the anthem. That's him staring off into the wild.
Into the wild.
Everybody wants him gone.
Julius is wearing the Terrifier costume.
Like, everybody wants him gone. I don't. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, though. So I don't know.
I am too.
Yeah, it's like, man, I look at that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Many Men and 50 Cent and his "Get Rich or Die Trying" was my high school anthem.
Yes, of course.
So it's a no-brainer for me, dude. No brainer.
Like, just it's the Flower speech all over again. It's that sort of weird turning point. Like, we talk about identity, right? What's identity mean? Like, maybe this team.
I think we found it today. Did we find our identity today?
Well, I'm talking like, so AJB, the week before he comes back, he posts this like weird Joker reel, and it's like, my turn, and it's like this crazy thing. Nick went through a breakdown.
Oh,
it's
man.
It's like, and now he's like posting, like, he didn't post it, but there's a video of him with, like, maybe your team is this like bipolar, weird, manic team. That's our identity.
You think Heath Ledger Joker?
I think so. Maybe it's the, like, come get us. We'll wait for you. You're like, you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
I love it.
Love that.
I love it. I love it.
Man,
AJB, straight cheat code.
Let me say this. The goddamn defense played out.
Yeah.
They were fire.
Yeah,
yeah,
they were.
Yeah, players of the game. I mean,
Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith,
The Georgia boys.
Bryce Huff with a sack. You know what I said?
Boy.
I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Do you guys remember it? If any of these podcasters remember, I said I'm never going to say his name again until he fucking comes out. Bryce Huff, sack. He's back.
Coming out party today. And it wasn't not only that sack, like, he definitely looked good.
Also, you said Clayton in previous
pods. He looked good last week too, though.
Yeah, like the previous, like, when we had those 5 sacks, you're like, it didn't really seem like, yeah, we had the 5 sacks, but, Baker was kind of stumbling into him. But
and a shitty O-line.
This game felt like we got to him. Like, those were real sacks.
Yeah, this felt like a dominating. This is like the dominating defensive performance that you're used to seeing when you see, 5+ sacks on the stat sheet. You're like, oh, then they're just wreaking havoc. And yes, today they were wreaking havoc.
It's way more than 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like 5+. Today was 8.
8, yeah.
I mean, we were playing Daniel Jones, who today looked worse than Deshaun Watson, which is hard to do. Well, Deshaun Watson's done. Anybody see his Achilles snap? You can watch
we
watched
watched
snap.
It. Yeah, we watched it. Yep.
He can get that massaged out though.
That's it. Ooh,
That's what I
man.
said. Exact words.
Yeah.
Oh man. So maybe that's actually the best thing that could have happened to the franchise for the Browns
You know
anyway.
what else I'm gonna say? Nolan Smith is trending to be a quality defensive end. Clayton,
Agreed.
you think or no?
No, I agree. And it's not so, and it's just honestly, he is a pass rush move away. If he can find a pass rush move that will work for him, and I think I don't know. There's 100 different labels for it, but it's more of a like you shoot your hand straight through, and it's almost like your hand's a knife edge, and you just clip their shoulder just to get them like turned a little bit because he is so fast. If he could just find, something that can give him a little bit of an edge that he can get around, he's gonna start getting home 2 or 3 times a game. That's where he's at, and he's doing a lot better job setting the edge. His relentless motor. That right there alone is, he should be out on the field as much as he can be just because of the effort. But I mean, he's setting the edge better. He's tackling good. It's just, if he can find that one pass rush move to start beating people consistently on the edge, he is 100% going to be a first round pick level player.
We got 2 for Jalen Carter, who's an animal.
Who was just dominating in the center of that field today. It was good to see. I love watching that guy play. Yeah, how about it? He got did we
What?
Dexter? Oh yeah, he did get 2. Shit, that's right.
Yeah, Dexter.
No, he was in there.
Was having a game.
He was freaking havoc, but it was situationally. Like, I feel like he got in there when it was like.
Yeah, but who cares because you lost 28-3. You know what I mean? So like
and
none of this.
Yeah.
I felt like he did all his damage early and then just faded off into the mist.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about CN Saquon out of the Wildcat.
Oh, that was a weird play call.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
In that situation, yeah, not good.
Yeah. I'm okay with it, but no, didn't work out.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And honestly, right before that, me and Clayton were just having a conversation. Clayton actually called that. And then the play happened. I mean, I swear to God on my life, dude. He called it.
It almost seemed like the play should have went to Smitty.
Smitty, yeah, I agree.
He would have got blown up though.
Yes. No, not Smitty.
Smitty, I think had one. He definitely would have had some room. Yeah, he had some room to maneuver. He had one guy to beat, and if he beats him, he's off to the races. Like he's probably
he has Jalen Hurts on that side too. So it's like I almost thought it was going to be another like toss back to Hurts and just something deep, But
I wanted to see if AJ Brown can throw the ball. That's what I was thinking about today, or no, 2 days ago. I was like, can he throw it? Let's see. Maybe
I like Smitty. I want to get Smitty touches and reps.
Well, you bring it up, and I wanted to touch on this. Like, let's give him his praise. Like, dude, Smitty is a consummate professional. Like,
absolute.
He's amazing. I mean, like, he could be is he a 1? Debatable, but he is like, he'll do what you need him to do. And just him being out on the field is great. Maybe he doesn't catch 2 touchdowns. Yeah, go ahead.
Smitty is the absolute all-time professional. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just wants to win. And I love that about him. You know what I mean? Like, he is the old grandpa. I don't know if you watch any of his interviews, you know what I mean? Like in the locker, he's like the oldest grandpa. He just like,
he had a great presser this week.
He's so good, man. He's so good. But I will say this: Hurts missed him on one play. I think we ended up punting.
No, it was
No.
the play. It was 4th and 3 after that, and we hit the touchdown to AJ.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because I remember being mad, and me and Clayton saw it right away. Like, oh my god, he's fucking wide.
Oh, dude,
And
yeah, that was bad.
and then we hit the play to Brown for the big one. But Smitty was furious too. Like he was so wide. But he is the absolute professional. And that's why I love him. Like I just love a guy that like just comes to work, doesn't want to be a part of the media, you know. Just I'm an absolute workhorse, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I mean that's the biggest thing. He's like a soldier, man. Like he doesn't care about stats. Like today, his stat line was trash, and I guarantee you it doesn't.
I don't think he had a catch.
He had 1 reception for -2 yards.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you that doesn't phase him at all. He's super happy that we won this game. And that's all he cares about is winning football games, man. He doesn't care about his own stats. He doesn't he's more happy for other people's success, and he says this constantly. So, and that's a hell of a teammate, man. That's a hell of a teammate.
When do you get like a number 1 AJB and a number like we can't waste this. We cannot waste this.
That was my point. Podcast ago.
We have an email.
Oh, we have an email.
Yeah. This is
Let's go.
From a listener. Given the chance to pick a new head coach, anyone on the table, who and why? Might not be what we want to hear right now, but it's a question.
I love it.
You gotta think like Howie has to have a short list. If he doesn't, then he's not my GM.
Who's this from? Email.
Anonymous.
No.
I don't know.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Yeah. Head coach Andy Reid for me. I know he's already a coach of another team.
I'll say Ben Johnson.
Clayton?
Robert Saleh.
No.
Really?
Oh, absolutely not. No, honestly, I would have to see who becomes available. I mean, if we're able to pick coaches that are currently employed, it should definitely be Andy. But who's available right now? The big name out there would be Belichick. Is that somebody that you want?
No,
Yeah.
Billy?
Is that somebody I was saying? Is that somebody that you guys want?
That's
I don't
somebody
know.
that I want.
I'd go Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
Detroit offensive coordinator.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that offense is dynamic.
I think that would change the franchise.
Yeah, it would definitely. Well, you'd have a guy that can call plays and design an offense as your head coach. So your turnover at the OC position wouldn't be as epic as it is normally for us because when we lose the OC, Jalen's right back to square one because we have to completely change everything because Nick can't call plays.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. What does it look like if Bill Belichick becomes the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't think it looks good because I don't think these players, after being a player-run team, go ahead and just give him all the respect. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Especially a guy like Jalen Carter. I feel like he's making his own way, if you will.
Well, you would have to how do they work together? Like Bill would want full.
I don't know. Because that was like that was his downfall really up in New England is he wasn't really good at he wasn't really good at drafting, so they couldn't keep a strong team together. So when he took over,
it would be a monumental. If it happened, it might be monumental.
I think this would be a good spot for him because he does have a guy like Howie that can do the GM stuff, and he could just go back to what he does best, just the football side of it, not have to worry about being a GM, doing all that other stuff. Yeah. So he just has to worry about getting the team ready, getting his staff together, all that stuff. He doesn't worry about drafting players, scouting players, all that shit. It's just one less thing to worry about. And I think it would be, for him, it would be beneficial to come to an organization like this or wherever he goes. He
And not
needs
only
a
that,
good GM.
and not only that, he's like dating like a 26-year-old, so he's rejuvenated.
Oh, I would love for her to rejuvenate me. All right,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bill
Yeah.
Belichick. No, the
He's out here.
Giants are 0-4 at home this season.
Yeah.
That's
Terrible.
rough. That's rough.
Oh, and their fucking stats were horrible at home.
Man, they were awful. They benched their quarterback, which I don't even think. I know you mentioned get the guy out of there, but it doesn't look good. It never looks good. So for 2 consecutive years within the first 10 weeks, because they went to Danny DeVito last year, right?
The ball.
Was it injury related or did they bench him?
I feel like there was some controversy about whether it might have been injury, but still.
Let me say this. You let Saquon go on national TV.
Yeah.
This is
And
a
what-
pathetic thing.
And
This is
Clayton,
a
to
pathetic
your point, Clayton, to your point last pod, you were saying the Giants need to do everything they can to not let Saquon beat them. And I mean, 178 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, that was the biggest shocker for me today, to be honest. And when we kind of got stuffed early, I was like, they're selling out to stop it, and we stayed with it,
100%.
and Saquon just went off, and some of that was good blocking, but a lot of that was Saquon's just sheer will. That touchdown he had, man, he literally bowled like 3
He needed
yards with
that.
the entire
He
defense.
wanted that. Yeah, he wanted that. Yeah.
So I mean, his will is what hurt them the most today, I'd say, more than our blocking.
Yeah. Well, boys, how do we feel? How do we feel moving forward? What's the temperature?
I'm happy. I am happy. Let's get 10% better. I will say this.
I will
think
say
we
this
dominated.
again. I will say this. I think we got. I would say if we're looking at percentage better, I think we got like 70% better.
Wow.
I mean, this
Almost
game
say
was
all that.
this. All right, so we didn't do the first quarter scoring, but it was the most complete game that we have seen in a while.
This was good.
It's the
This
most
was a
complete
complimentary.
game I agree with you, Alex. I 120% agree. This was a complete game.
Yeah,
that-
that was like
you're right.
It was
You're
crazy.
absolutely right.
It was the first time I would say that all 3 phases played complementary football this year together. That all 3 phases did well. Our special teams was good. Shout out to Cooper. Shout out to Cooper DeJean, man.
Yeah.
Cooper Sharp.
That kid just impresses me every single week. I know it's only been 2. I can't tell you how impressive this kid is. And his return game is awesome. Like, to the point where I really like Covey. Like, I'm a big Covey guy. I don't know if this is Covey's job anymore when he gets back. Like, if Coop keeps doing what he does.
Yeah, but do you want your?
Yeah, I don't know if I want my starting nickel out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Returning punts. That's the only drawback to that. I
Although
would say.
Covey was good in the receiving game. So
Yeah, he was.
You can't hate
this
that.
year. For sure.
But
yeah,
I'm happy, man. I'm happy, dude. We did well. It's a great game.
Everybody, every Eagles fan right now should be happy about what they've seen today.
This
should be a big, like Alex did at the beginning, a big exhale and enjoy the moment.
No,
man.
yeah.
It feels good to watch the Eagles play football again. Hasn't felt great. I'll be honest with you. Even last week in the win, I was frustrated, and that was on me. But it was still frustrating. But this game, outside of the first quarter, I never felt threatened. I felt like this, especially in the fourth, it felt like a preseason game. It looked like we were just out there methodically handling business against an inferior opponent. That's what you should do. And I know people are going to come back and say the Giants are not a good team. They're whatever. You can only play who's in front of you, as cliche as that is, and you can only handle your business, And that's exactly what the Eagles did. They came out and handled business. This game was never in doubt. Not 1 second was this game in doubt.
That's what we wanted. That's what we
They
wanted.
dominated from start to finish, and there you go. And all three phases played complementary football, and they dominated the game. Hurts didn't have outstanding numbers, but he was super efficient, took care of the ball. The defense was just snarling and and relentless, and it was a great thing to see, man. I feel so good. I'm gonna be wearing my Eagles hat proudly the rest of this week. Have my chest pumped out. It feels good to be an Eagles fan today.
Agree.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like we look at like these games, it's like like even this going into this game after a win, we kind of limped in, but this is one where I'm like, look at the Bengals. I think that we hung 28 on the road against a divisional opponent. I have no doubt that we can go and beat the Bengals.
They're hurting.
And depending on how the offensive line shakes up here, I mean, we may be without Becton because of the concussion. It's hard to get back in a year.
We're gonna be without
in a
Becton.
week. Yeah, it's hard to get back in a week. Get through the protocol. So we're gonna be without Becton.
I'll ask you, Clayton. Like, still though, I didn't. I mean, the Giants front got home, but I didn't. There wasn't a glaring deficiency on the offensive line. Did you see that?
I agree with that.
Fred Johnson got beat bad a few plays, but for the most part, I think he was all right. And again, I'm almost willing to roll the dice with him for another week, just so he has that, another week of starting, stack another game on top.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you're not going to move anybody over because it's got to be Fred Johnson.
Yeah, you can't.
Mekhi Becton's concussed.
Exactly, unless you're going to do Driscoll out there, which I don't think smart.
No, not at all.
I would just leave Fred out there again. And I'm almost positive when I go back and watch the all 22, I'm going to see, some stuff that's ugly, but that's to be expected, man. He's a backup. I think Stout's going to work with him. He's going to identify what he was good at doing, where he was struggling this week in practice. I think Stout will have him ready to go. That Bengals defensive front, I know, is getting healthy, so they're no slouch. They're not what we've seen today. This is one of the best defensive fronts in football that we went against today. I mean, they were the sack leaders coming into the week. So, I mean, they were no slouch. Now, the back end, their offense, but the front is legit. And the offensive line did well. Even with Steen having to come in off the bench, he looked
He's
well.
a monster.
I didn't see one rep where I was like, oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. He got put on skates one time. And I think it was a stunt. But other than that, he looked great. So I'm happy with Steen. If Becton's out, I'm happy with Steen playing in there. I say roll the dice with Big Fred one more game at least. If he goes out there and gets beat like a drum in Cincinnati, at that point you reassess. You'll have Becton back probably the next week. So if you want to do that shift out, at that point, that's where you start talking and seeing what you want to do, but I would 100% roll the dice. Let's see what Fred's got. I have faith in him. I have faith in Stout. I have faith in this team again. It's been a while since I could say that.
Love that.
Is the car going off the cliff?
No, not this week. No.
We're driving. We're driving.
That's right.
Man, I feel good too. It was a great week. Man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the pressers and everything, and Nick with his kids.
No
kids this week.
Yeah, that was a shield. That was a coward move. We won't get into
max protection, but
Max
protect.
He's a coach at heart. Guys, anything else that you wanted to talk about? I feel good.
No, I feel good too. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please subscribe to the pod if you like it.
If you're listening.
And man, would love to have y'all subscribe and great.
Hit us up.
I'm having a good time now.
Yeah, hit us up. Let's see.
Yeah, everybody listening, this is a good week to be an Eagles fan. So enjoy it.
I got one other thing. Somebody fucking call the number. Alex, put it out there, and then somebody call the number and leave a message.
We'll
Right?
get
I
you on the
agree.
show.
Yes, guys. Email. I love the
Please.
email. I don't know who you were. Email. That was great. You can email us at speakinbirds@gmail.com. If you're in the 20th century, you can leave us a voicemail at 215-469-1480, 1480. Leave us a call.
Hit
You
us
guys
up.
think?
Love it.
Love y'all. Great pod.
Go Birds.
Go
Birds.
birds.
Go birds.